and welcome to Talk to Aljazeera. I'm Tony Bertley, and today I'm talking to the Sri Lankan President, Mahinda Rajapaksa, at a time when many say the final battle to defeat the Tamil Tigers has begun. President, what's going on now in the north of the country, the battle for Kilinochchi? Some grandiose statements being made saying it's the beginning of the end, it's the last battle, the Tamil Tigers have got nowhere else to go, basically the end is in sight. Is that a little bit premature, or is it very close to the mark?
No, I think it's the reality, because now it's the end of their battle. Either they have to surrender or give up their fighting.
So you're saying to them they should surrender, lay down their weapons?
Now, this is the time that they should do that.
But is that a realistic expectation, given the fact that people like Prabhakaran have got nowhere else to go?
Quite right. I'm agreeing with you. And you can't trust him. He's a bloodthirsty terrorist. So he will not surrender himself. But I think most of the people are now, they want to surrender. The cadres want to surrender, and they have already surrendered, some of them. But this will be the end of their terrorist activities, I would say.
What terms are you offering? You're saying, calling them to surrender, but what is it you're offering them?
What can we offer for a terrorist who wants a separate state? And we have, for last so many years, we tried to persuade them for a political solution. All government. And even my government, about 3 times. We went to Geneva, we went to Oslo, but unfortunately he just walked out. And this is the only language that he understands.
Are you confident that you tried everything? Because if you listen to some of the, for example, the Sri Lankan monitoring mission, they said that your side was as guilty for some of the violations as the LTTE.
They said about when they violate 8,000 times, we have violated about 150 or 200.
But they said that although they committed 8,000 violations, as you say, some of the violations that your side made were bigger in comparison.
I won't say that. I don't agree, because when somebody attacks you, you have to defend yourself. You can't just wait. So it was self-defense.
But going back now to Kilinochchi, don't you think it would help expedite the situation that if really they're on the run, if you offered amnesties and terms for surrender, that maybe you would get a massive desertion from the LTTE ranks?
They will not allow the people to surrender. What we have, I think the reports are that some of the people who want to surrender they were killed by LTTE. So they will not allow that.
How can you convince these people? These people, a lot of them are very young, they're very dedicated, some say fanatical, brainwashed maybe, without any kind of outside information to actually make their decisions and understand what's happening. Why would they suddenly lay down their weapons and come over to you, considering they've been brought up in an environment where they've been told that your side wants to kill them? You want to discriminate against them.
The best example is, they can see what has happened in the Eastern Province. Now a child soldier who was fighting against us, who fought against us, and now he's a chief minister. The other man, the number 2, at that time they were saying that Karuna was their number 2, who was the leader of the Eastern Province. Now today he's a member of parliament. We have one in them, so they can see what has happened to them. The difference. I mean, the good example is the Eastern Province. We never killed anybody there who surrendered to us. Still most of the LTT sympathizers are there. We know them. But they are LTT sympathizers who fought against us. But we won't touch them, because they have already come to the democratic process, so they can trust us.
But Prabhakaran and the rest of the main LTTE leadership, Tamil Tigers, what's their fate if you capture them?
Of course, they have committed some crimes. If we capture them, they will be taken to courts and India, they have killed Rajiv Gandhi. If the Indian government wants it, certainly I will have to oblige.
There's been a lot of bloodshed in this war, 25 years of conflict. It's going to take some time to make people completely confident that a peace process will work if you defeat the Tamil Tigers as quickly as you think.
Now, within a very short time, we managed to change the minds of the people of the eastern province with the development, with giving them education, all facilities, and you can educate them. They will understand, because most of the people, if you allow them to come and move around here, certainly they will change. I have that confidence, because they are my own people. We know them, we know their culture, we know their hearts.
What about this whole military situation? Because everybody always said only a political solution would actually work in Sri Lanka, not the military. It seems now that the balance has tipped the other way.
I agree with that. The final solution will be a political solution. There is no military solution for this. But you have to defeat the terrorism in this country. Then for the reasonable people, we might be able to give the political solution.
But there have been killings on both sides, because you've had people, some parliamentarians who've been pro-LTTE, if you like, they've been assassinated. It's almost like a tit for tat.
No, I don't think so.
There's question marks about them.
Yes, they are, but we know that it was not done by any of the government. There is no government involvement in it.
Well, maybe I can quote you. Human Rights Watch did a report. The government is responsible for wide-scale abductions and disappearances. The response is grossly inadequate. You're one of the world's worst perpetrators of enforced disappearances. Police force are working with impunity. It's pretty damning, isn't it?
Yes, it's damaging. Very unfortunate. There are few NGOs who are working here, who are selling the country, who think that everything is done by the government. Now, I will give you a good example. There was a suicide bomber killer who, at Lotus Road, that is near Hilton. Now, this man came and blasted the place. He was killed, and we found that's our telephone chip. When we traced his house, his mother had gone and made a complaint to the police that this man is missing. Finally, he was a suicide bomber here. This is what has happened. And most of them are fighting in the north. Some of them have gone abroad. They are in London, they are in Paris, they are in Germany.
But, Mr. President, with all respect, what you're saying is absolutely correct. There must be some people who are genuinely abducted. And for even the UN Working Group on Enforced Abductions and Disappearances.
But there are reports. There are reported cases that unfortunately some of them have gone abroad. Some of them have, this is what I told you. There are people, they are well organized, they just go and make these complaints when they want to go abroad. And if they give us some clue, certainly we will go and